So I've had the iWatch since iWatch first came out. This is the iWatch Ultra. I've had a Whoop band since Whoop first came out, and I wore it for 365 days without ever taking it off. But now is the dawn of a new era. The G-Shock GBD-H2000. Yeah, they should come up with a shorter name. But in this video, I'm gonna show you why this is now my go-to. So this is the newest G-Shock smartwatch. It's the GBD-H2000. Not quite sure why they have to use so many letters and numbers, but yeah, it's their newest smartwatch tracker. I'm super stoked on it because I'm a multi-sport athlete. I like to run, I like to bike, I like to swim, I like to do CrossFit, I like to pretty much do everything I can to be as active as possible. So today I'm gonna give this thing a test. I have a 1 mile run in my neighborhood that I've measured with my car. I've measured with my other trackers that I've used before in the past. And to be totally honest and transparent, I'm not a huge tracker fan. If you notice, like, I wear a rubber wedding ring. This will be the first tracker that I'm gonna keep on for a while. I wore the Whoop for a solid year, for 365 days, never took it off back before Whoop was cool. And I really liked it. There was a couple things about it I didn't like, and I'll get into that later on in this video. I wore the Apple Watch. I have the Apple Watch Ultra, I never wear it. All these other different trackers and wearables I've tried, and I've always struggled with them because the one thing I really don't like, maybe I'm the only person on the planet, but I don't know why they all have to have all these connectivities. I don't want my watch or my tracker to have to be connected to a phone. I don't want there to be Bluetooth and EMFs and all this nonsense and cellular transmissions happening on my wrist. It's one of the things I notice when I wear my Apple Watch for longer than 2 or 3 days is my wrist starts to hurt. And I don't know if it's the watch or if it's that, but it's definitely not the watch because I've worn watches my entire life, never had issues. It's always when I put something on that has major cellular, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connections happening at all times. So I'm the only person in the world that feels that way. That's crazy, but I want to do a quick review on this watch myself. I'm gonna go do a mile run with it. I'm gonna throw on a weighted vest because Murph is coming up and I'm gonna get prepped for that. But I want to do a little review on this because I'm sure there's people out there that are similar to me that really don't want to have all this connection happening. Now I'll go ahead and tell you, you can connect to your watch, or I'm sorry, to your phone with this new G-Shock watch, but at the end of the day, you don't have to. You can literally turn connectivity off. So there's a couple other connections on here that I'm curious how it's going to work, such as the GPS connection for my runs and a few other neat little things going on in there. But I've worn it for the entire day. I put it on early this morning, went to the beach, went for some swims, had some fun, and I've had no issues with it so far. And I'll get in more into the watch here in a second, but I'm gonna go for a quick mile run and then we're gonna recap. All right, let's go do it. All right, let's go. This thing's spot on. So far, so good. Oh dear. Oh God. Whew, that's horrible. I'm not much of a runner, but I know it's good for me. So I run. All right, so let's get into it. Yeah, I forgot to hit stop when I finished. So that's my horrible mile run. Finished in just under 10 minutes. So yeah, don't make fun of me. Hit the back button and kind of show you a little bit more of the interface, right? So this is it. Kind of played around with the different watch faces. There's multiple watch faces. So I put this one on. It's my first day wearing it. So shows you your steps right there on the top, which is cool, time, date. And what I love about this thing is as soon as I hooked it up to the GPS where I'm located, it automatically changed the time and the date to fit where I am. A couple things I really think is awesome about this watch is, once again, like I told you, you don't have to have it connected to your phone. You don't have to have it connected to Bluetooth or anything if you don't want to. So you can just wear this watch as it is. The charger is super easy to use when you're charging it. It clips right on, plugs right into USB. It also has this solar power bezel that harnesses the power of the sun, like solar panel, and charges the watch. So it's almost like it incentivizes you to be outside. So when you're outside and you're in the sun, it is charging the watch for you, which is super cool. They changed the back of this from the previous generation. It used to be metal, so it used to be about double the weight. Now it's made out of a little resin, so it's super, super light. When I say it's super light, I mean like you can't tell in the video, but just take my word for it. It's a very, very light watch. Now I'm gonna take a little time to show you how it kind of operates. So some of the things that I was curious about, and I ended up watching a 20-minute video on it before I bought it. So I'm gonna try to shorten it up to make it just a little more simple for you. All right, so first things first, this button over here, the enter, start, stop, you press that one time, and it's gonna take you through the different activity modes. So it has running, this is forward, this is reverse. So running, biking, gym workout, interval timer, pool swimming, open water swimming, trail running, walking, and it takes you back. To get out of this, you always hit this button, takes you to the home screen, which is cool, it has a backlight. That's what that button over there does. If you hold down this button up here where it says reverse, hold it for a couple seconds, takes you to the settings, right? You have settings, connect, which I don't want to do, phone finder, which I don't care for, time adjustment, we don't need that, airplane mode, don't need that. Back to settings. Settings, you got general settings, physical settings, watch settings, regulatory, not too worried about that. Let's check out general settings. Pairing, don't want to pair. HR tracking, so it's going to set that up. Notifications, nighttime, notifications, units, step, remind, beep, vibration, light, power saving, reset, all that fun stuff. We'll go back, go to physical settings, put in your weight, your height, your date of birth, your sex, which wrist you have it on, stride reset, and it's gonna use a lot of really neat little trackers and different like accelerometers and all that stuff that are inside the watch to figure out your stride and all that stuff. You can set an alarm. It's got all the same normal features that you're gonna look for in a smartwatch. But once again, I'm not using this as a smartwatch. I'm using this more as a tracker, activity tracker. So it's been working pretty good for me. Today's the first day on it. Really lightweight. The band is super flexible and breathable. I was in the ocean today. Took the kids out to the beach, so had this thing in the sun all day, which is super cool to watch it actually charge while you're out there and get some steps walking the beach. So that's it. Took it for a quick mile run. It was accurate. It was perfectly accurate, about as accurate as anything that I've ever worn. So I recommend this thing. I'll put the link where I got it in the description below. I got it on Amazon. It came literally, I bought it last night. It was here at 7:30 this morning. So I don't know if you can get any faster anywhere else. If you're a fan of G-Shock, which I am, it's a great watch. I've only had it for 24 hours, but I've already told multiple people about it that are like me and don't really want to wear the super connected sport watches and trackers and all that stuff. So this is gonna be my new watch. You'll probably see me talk more about it in future videos. So as I promised earlier in the video, I was gonna talk a little bit about some of the other trackers and wearables that I've worn. I'll just talk about two of them. The two probably most popular ones right now. The Whoop Band, which I wore, I've had Whoop membership for over 3 years. I was one of the early Whoopers, shared my code out before I even had a YouTube with a lot of people. So I still have free membership with Whoop, which is cool, but I don't wear it. You know, like I can't tell you I think the last time I wore it was like 2 months ago. And that was just because there was a hard workout coming up. I really wanted to track what was going on with my heart rate there. And I kind of experiment with it, which is fun. So a couple things about Whoop that I like. I like the simplicity of the band. I like that it's super small. I like all that great stuff, but I don't like that you have to have the app open in the background at all times. And if you don't, it'll take some time to, regurgitate the information into your phone. But at the end of the day, like I like being able to just look down, see my steps, look down, see the information. This does have a heart rate monitor and all that fun stuff too. I just haven't played around with those settings quite yet. It's my first day with it. But I like all the information that Whoop gives you, but I don't like that you have to go to your phone. I try to keep my phone away from me throughout the day unless I really, really need it. And I don't like to have to look at my phone for all that information. It's nice to be able to look and get the time and look and get the information. So the pros and the cons, for me, the pros outweigh the pros of the Whoop with the G-Shock. The cons, as far as having to look at the phone, same thing. Like G-Shock has an app. I downloaded it, seems pretty glitchy. Cool thing is you don't have to use it. So there's a little bit of the pros and cons why I like this over the Whoop. And I still have Whoop and I still have a membership with Whoop. So I just, once again, like I don't like having to have that thing connected to my phone at all times. It's too much Bluetooth, too much connectivity happening too much. So I like that you don't have to have that with the G-Shock, but you still get most of the same information. Now let's talk about the iWatch Ultra. So I have the Ultra and I have worn the Ultra, and I was a first adopter of the Ultra as soon as it came out. I had it, took it out. We went on a trip with it where we were going scuba diving and snorkeling, and we were going in the water. I liked that it was able to tell me how deep I was and how long I was under. That's really cool. Like it's got some really cool features, but I'm not an avid scuba diver or snorkeler. It's not like I do that every day. If I was, I'd probably use that feature more often. But same thing as the Whoop. You're constantly connected. You're constantly connected to cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. There's so many connections happening at all the time. So I try to avoid that as much as possible. So it gives me about the same information. I don't want my watch to connect to my phone. I like to use my phone for my phone, and I like to use my watch for my watch and my activity tracker. So this is the first one that is solving all of my problems, so I'm super stoked on it. Nothing against Apple, nothing against Whoop, nothing against any other trackers out there, but for me and my lifestyle, trying to avoid the connectivity but get all the information right there in the palm of my hand, this G-Shock 2000 series is the one for me. All right, so in conclusion, I've had this beautiful watch on for over 24 hours now, and I love it. I've learned a lot about it. Yes, there is an app that you can use, and it's not too bad. I'm not gonna use it for that. I like that I get everything from my workout as soon as my workout's done. I get everything from my run as soon as my workout's done. A couple cons that I should mention. There's a lot of pros, I've mentioned most of those, but the cons are, if you're somebody who likes to connect with other people through like the Nike Run Club, Strava, and other apps like that, you can't do that with this. So that's really the main cons. But if you're someone like me and you just want the data for yourself, to know how your run was, to know how your workout was, to know your expenditure, your calories out, this is the watch for you. So once again, link will be in the description if you want to check it out. If you like this video, let me know, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. You guys all have a great day. God bless.